I think it's fair to say that 2025 hasn't been as show-stopping so far as previous years have been at this point. But that is not to say that there hasn't been great music. As every year, there's always great music. You just have to look in the right places and pay very close attention. And as I say every single year as well, this midway point is a little bit of a false thing, because I always think the best music comes out in the second half of the year. So while it's always fun to do the mid-year lists, I think it's important to remember that music does really pick up from around August, September-ish time, and then it gets really, really exciting with a bunch of big releases. I just think we were really spoiled at this point in 2024. We had huge names that had dropped albums already. There was always an event every single week. There was a talking point every single week. There was a Kendrick Lamar-Drake beef, which dominated a lot of the headlines as well. Like, I think at this point last year, we were probably looking at the year very differently to how we're looking at it this year. Even the charts this year don't seem as exciting as well. There's no major, like, runaway song of the summer. And I think in the midst of summer, not having one of those is very strange. So I definitely get a lot of the talking points, and I kind of agree with a lot of the talking points myself. But I do want to mention and give you guys a reminder that dig deep, find the music, maybe listen to me, listen to other people, go on Album of the Year, rate your music, all the online forums, and yeah, just note down the albums people are talking about. I promise you there'll be something you'll find that you love, and hopefully in this video, with these 10 albums I'm going to list as my favorites of the year so far, you're going to find something as well. Enjoy the video, subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. Tell me your picks in the comments as well. Yeah. Here's my 10. Starting off the video with the brand new Clipse album. I basically did wait for this album to come out before I even recorded this list, and I did the right thing, because although this album has literally just come out as we're recording this, I'm very confident in saying that this is very much a contender for me as one of my favorite albums of the year already. I've got to be honest with you guys, I don't know if I've ever said this on this channel before, but Clipse were one of the first and early rap groups, hip-hop artists I even got into from when I was a teenager, and they've just stuck with me ever since then. Like, it's been a long time now, and I've always considered them my favorite rap duo ever, and that's crazy praise considering the amazing rap duos that have come along over the years. I don't even have to name them, but yeah, this was major hype for me. The rollout was really good as well. I think they handled it really interestingly with the songs that they dropped, the interviews they were doing. They've just done a tiny desktop concert as well on the day of the release of the album. Like, they've just got it all so right, and it matches the quality of the music as well, which is always a good thing, because sometimes we talk about album rollouts as being really exciting, but then the actual album itself doesn't really live up. But I think this got everything right. The production is really goddamn good. The features are fantastic as well. You got Nas, Tyler, Kendrick, all killing it here. Like, they know exactly the right rappers to look to. They are some of the better rappers of our time right now. Even Nas, as late as into his career he is, has been great over the past few years. Like, they've just nailed it all completely. The beats selection is fantastic throughout. You've got Inglorious, which is one of the best tracks on the album for me, with that really classic Clipse sound. Very much feels like it could fit onto Hell Hath No Fury easily. And then the rest of the production across the album feels really different and new for Pharrell, and different and new for Clipse generally as well. Perhaps it's the fact that Chad isn't involved this time. So I will say it kind of loses a little bit of that essence, but I still think the general quality is there. And my main critiques are really just Pharrell's vocals that pop up every now and then. Pharrell was killing it back in the day on Lord Willin', when he was all over that album with hooks and features and random little vocal bits here and there. Like, they were so fun. They were intertwined with the album great. On this album, I don't know what's going on, man, but every time Pharrell pops up with a vocal, which is about 2 or 3 times or something, I'm just like, turn this off, don't need this. But aside from that, there's no real major critiques. Also good. The bars are great. The energy is fantastic. Yeah. Pusha T, Malice, killed it. I want to mention Psychedelic Pec Crumpets. Never want to say the full name because I don't want to be saying inappropriate words on this channel that may get me flagged, but you can check yourself what they're called. Yeah, love this band, one of my favorite rock bands of the past few years as well. Their work from the late 2010s is great. Franzoli from a few years ago with that amazing artwork, which I found hilarious and really, really hard, honestly. And then, yeah, this album this year is just really like great and incredibly like powerful and punchy and catchy rock music with a psychedelic twist, and there's a garage rock influence coming through as well on a lot of the tracks. Yeah, I love these guys, one of the better rock bands out there at the moment, and yeah, I just find this album to be super replayable, super high energy, super fun. Just can't really critique this band at all. They're just getting it all right with all their releases so far. Yeah, it's definitely top 3 in their discography, I'd say, at this point. Great stuff. I want to mention 256 Pi, who is also the Wonky Angle, makes great electronic music content on his channel and has been for a very long time. And also, I discovered this year he makes music. Well, this came out at the right time because there wasn't a great amount of releases, and I just saw it pop up, I think, on my newsfeed or something. And I was like, damn, this guy makes music, let's just click it. And noticed how bloody good he is at it as well. This is just some really nicely put together electronic stuff. It's very minimal at times, but there's some really great beats across this thing. That track with Vale Smith is fantastic. The track with Give Me Monaco is fantastic as well. Just a really, really nice electronic release here that I was very much not expecting at all, but with some really like sticky and melodic beats and instrumentals that are very impressive for a completely like unknown underground artist to be putting out music like this is remarkable, actually. So yeah, love this one. Had to be in my top 10 for the year so far. May Simmons, one of the most beautiful folk albums I've heard this year as well. Just a really nice, lovely release with some kind of like flary instrumentals as well that kind of delve into some different type of stuff. Like bossa nova pops up a few times on the album, which is really fun. There's some like rockier instrumentals as well, but for the most part it kind of stays in this folky lane. Just some really lovely instrumentals, very dreamy, very soft, very pillowy. Kind of can't really go wrong with what she's doing on this album here. Absolutely loved it, and kind of one of those albums that's just like, yeah, Ryan's gonna like this one, and it very much lived up to that too. I have to mention McKinley Dixon, who is just easily one of the best rappers of the decade so far, and is just absolutely at the top of his game right now. I thought his first album was good, but since then, Beloved Paradise Jazz and now Magic Alive have just stepped it up massively. The production is really jazzy, it's really soulful, it's really, really heavy with just the melodies, and it's so good, and it feels like alive in the moment, and everything just feels like it comes together so brilliantly. The performances from McKinley are excellent, the writing, the rapping, everything's just so good. And it's just one of those things where it's like, damn, you know, we keep complaining that hip-hop's not in the best place, or it's been a bit boring or whatever, and it's kind of just like there's no great releases coming out and stuff, and then stuff like this just goes completely under the radar, doesn't even make it onto the charts, and barely gets talked about by the classic hip-hop heads. Like, what is it? What is with this, man? What is with it? But yeah, absolutely love this, and McKinley is got to be top 3 rapper of the decade easily now for me. Miley Cyrus is in my top 10 for the year so far as well. Very surprised with this one, but I have to mention it and give credit where credit is due, as I've not ever really been a big Miley fan. Maybe there's the odd song here and there, but, you know, most pop stars get the odd song here and there anyway, don't they? But as an album experience, Miley's never had it for me at all, and hasn't even been close. But this new album is really, like, well done. Like, the production is fantastic. It really takes leaps and has some really adventurous backdrops on some of the tracks at times. I mean, the producers have worked with some, like, more indie artists over the years, so I guess it's one of the bigger artists that they've worked with, but it's just kind of elevated Miley's sound to a totally different level and made tracks like Easy Lover, Walk of Fame, Something Beautiful as well. Even the prelude is ridiculously stunning. Like, there's just some incredibly impeccable moments on this. Miley's voice is very lush and sounds different. I'd seen somebody say that she had some kind of vocal surgery in between the last album and this album, which is why her voice sounds a little bit different than it usually does. That kind of like raspy gravel that was there before, that I've never really been keen on, and to be honest, personally, is just not really there now. And yeah, she still is able to sing over these kind of like, you know, epic rocky instrumentals, even some like disco-y instrumentals as well, and sounds right at home. Just, yeah, it might not have been the chart topping, you know, big moment that you'd usually get from a Miley album, but who the hell cares, man? This is just fantastic. I have to mention Barty Strange, who has been kind of teasing me over the past few years. I thought his debut was really good, and the second album has some amazing songs on it, but didn't quite deliver from front to back for me. And then this new album, Horror, I think is just a culmination of everything so far. And yeah, Barty Strange has just kind of put out the best of their abilities onto this one album. It still has those kind of Heartland rocky moments. It still has those anthemic choruses as well, but dabbles in and out of different genres and manages to pull it all together in a pretty interesting way. I think at the heart of it, it's very much an indie rock album, of course. But yeah, it just has a few moments where it detours into some really cool passages and explores some different styles and stuff, which I really like. Very much gone under the radar for 2025 as well. Not really seen much talk about this one or any of the previous Barty Strange albums, but honestly, I think if you sit down and listen to those albums, including this one, you're going to find some amazing songs on it. Like, I've always had major praise for, you know, previous songs on his other albums, like Boomer. There's also Heavy Heart, there's also Mulholland Drive, and then this album as well has a bunch of tracks I'd highly recommend to people, like 17 as well, Wants, Needs, Sober. So good. Clipping are back again, just blowing my mind with the concept and the theme and the originality of it all. That just every single time they put out an album, there is just some kind of core running concept narrative that just feels so unique and fresh. Even if not all of the albums I absolutely love, I'm still just absolutely like taken aback by how they come up with the lyrics and the themes and everything that goes along with it. Like Splendor and Misery is a good example of that. I didn't love it, but the theme of that album is just like nothing else out there. And now here we go again with the new album, which just like goes through this like dystopian universe, this futuristic universe, and, you know, talks about all kinds of really strange topics about the future of the world, and kind of feels a little bit relevant to what's going on at the minute, like with some like of the technological aspects of the world kind of shifting into a new era and stuff like that. But yeah, man, just crazy stuff. The track Dodger, I don't even know how you even come up with that. Like, the whole album feels like a TV show that's just been mapped out for like 3 or 4 seasons, and yet they've managed to condense it all into an album, make the music sound fantastic as well. And you've got Daveed Diggs spitting in incredible ways that, yeah, I'm just always blown away by how much of a strong rapper he is with his flows and his delivery. Yeah, crazy stuff again from these guys. There's always that one grower of the year for me at this point where I liked it when it first came out, but by the mid-year list, I'm like, no, this is definitely one of the best of the year, and that is Honning Barner, who I did discover a few years ago and highly praised their 2023 album, and it did make my year-end list for that year, in fact. But I think this new one is just like steps it up completely. Some of these instrumentals are ridiculous. They're outrageous. The vocal performance is just mad. I could definitely see somebody listening to this and not being completely on board with it. But honestly, if you're like a post-hardcore fan that loves like the classic sounds of like the, you know, late 90s, 2000s, At the Drive-In, Glassjaw, those kinds of bands, like, this is just that on steroids for me. Just an absolutely mad performance from this band across the whole thing. And yeah, it all feels like it has a sense to it as well. So yeah, it doesn't just feel random, it just doesn't feel silly for the sake of it. It's very, very impressively done. And there you go, guys. All the people in the comments always complaining that I don't talk about heavier music. Well, there you go. You just got to listen to me, because I do talk about it. You just don't click those bloody videos. And the 10th and final pick, and by the way, in case you hadn't already noticed, this is in no particular order. I never do an ordered list for the mid-year. This is just 10 randomly, ordered albums I absolutely love. But look, man, John Michelle and Anthony James, you're not last here. You're just in the 10, because bloody hell, this was a great album from you guys. What a out of nowhere album this was. It just randomly started to get loads of ratings on Album of the Year, and had a bit of buzz on Rating Music as well. But I'd not heard of anything about it up until the release. But yeah, very cool how an album like this can just surface and get a lot of buzz. And to be fair to Anthony James, very active on TikTok and social media promoting this album, so that probably did this album a bit of good as well. But yeah, man, very impressed with this one. Just the production is fascinating. It's so heavy on the chipmunk soul and the classic early days of that soulful rap coming through, and the beats and the loops and the samples are remarkable. Some of the vocal features on the thing are beautiful as well. John Michelle's rapping like crazy. Yeah, the whole thing I think is just incredibly well put together hip-hop that I think any kind of classic fan of the genre would be head over heels for this, because it kind of just contains all of the classic sounds that you know and love from this subgenre of hip-hop, jazzy rap, soulful rap, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely for you. Love this thing. Great album. And yeah, they are my 10 picks for the year so far. Thank you for watching as always. Hopefully you've got some picks here that you're going to check out after this video is finished. And if not, let me know your 10 picks in the comments. I'm sure you're going to be telling me off for not including this, that, or the other. It might not be that I don't like it. It might just not have made my 10 so far. 10 is not that big of a number, so it's hard to condense these things down, to be fair. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're sticking around for more videos like this as well, and yeah, sticking around for more recommendations, more fun content. Share the video around, like it. Potentially, if you're feeling generous, check out my Patreon, check out the membership page as well, where you can support me over on there monetarily. Have a good day, have a good rest of your 2025. Hopefully there's more great music coming out as well. Can't wait, and goodbye.